The House will come to order. Prayer by the chaplain.
With a clear understanding of the different faith communities and beliefs represented in this chamber, let us take time for a prayer. May we as elected officials and representatives of this great state be guided today by your Spirit to rediscover the flame of our heritage, which so many have given their lives to safeguard. Let the wounds of separation and division be healed by opening our hearts to listen to the truth on all sides, allowing us to find a higher truth that includes everyone. May we honor and enjoy our diversity and differences as a people, even as we more deeply touch our fundamental unity. May we experience a transformation that draws us together to embody courage, compassion, and a higher vision. May these elected officials inspire us by their actions and voices, so that we, the people of Minnesota, can inspire one another to create a new spirit of cooperation, caring, and honesty, uniting us with a clear and direct purpose to work together to build a stronger and better future for all Minnesotans. United in the Spirit, I offer this prayer with thanksgiving for those who represent us today and in the days ahead. Amen.
The chaplain for today is Reverend Ralph Olson from Woodbury, Minnesota, currently serving Trinity Lutheran Church, Hammond, Wisconsin. Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk will take the roll.
The clerk will close the roll. Quorum is present. The clerk will read the journal of the preceding day.
Journal of the House, 90th Session, 2017, 35th day, St. Paul, Minnesota, Tuesday, March 28th, 2017.
If there's no objection, further reading of the journal will be dispensed with, and the journal will be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. Hearing no objection, the journal is approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. Reports of standing committees and divisions. A copy of this order of business has been placed on each member's desk. If there's no objection, the reports will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the reports are adopted. Second reading of House files.
Second reading House File number 861.
Second reading.
Second reading House File number 890.
Second reading.
Second reading House File number 1226.
Second reading.
Second reading House File number 1227.
Second reading.
Second reading House File number 1228.
Second reading. Introduction of House files. The following House files have been offered for introduction today. The Chief Clerk will report the House files and give them their first reading.
Introduction and first reading of House Files 2555 through 2562.
First reading, House files 2555 through 2562. Messages from the Senate.
Message from the Senate, Mr. Speaker. Hereby announce the passage by the Senate of the following Senate files herewith transmitted. Senate file numbers 803 and 2214. The message is signed Cal R. Ludeman, Secretary of the Senate.
First reading of Senate files.
First reading of Senate file number 803, an act relating to public safety. The bill is being referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. First reading, Senate file number 2214, an act relating to higher education. The bill is being referred to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Pepin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration will meet immediately following recess in room 120 of the Capitol. And Republican members, we will caucus immediately after Rules Committee in room 112 of the Capitol. Mr. Speaker and members, I move a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 11 a.m.
Recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Horkman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. DFL members, we will caucus immediately after rules in our caucus room.
Representative Pepin moves a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 11 o'clock a.m. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion prevails, and the House stands in recess to the call of the chair until approximately 11 o'clock a.m.